Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. There is tons of news coming out of the game that's going to be updating very soon. I think later on this week, some people are saying as early as tomorrow, being Wednesday, or Thursday, for the Grim Forest update, but also a lot of the other things that are coming with it. There's some really nice quality of life adjustments. There's also, I'm waiting to hear some news about the upcoming Titan event that should be happening for the Christmas period, which there hasn't been any official news of. Maybe that's going to start next Monday. So there's going to be a lot of things coming hard and fast in Raid Shadow Legends. I want to cover some of this for you guys because I haven't quite done like a news recap in a little while. So before we get started with the rest of the video, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started a new account, you want to make a new alt account, use Narma. Use this QR code to get Narma the Returned, recently reworked, amazing legendary there from Knights Revenant. Also, these three amazing epics for your dungeon progress and elsewhere: Allure, Tagore, and Ruella at a level 10, 20, and 30. And don't forget to use this promo code Demon Slayer to get Tholand Falbeard, amazing DPS legendary here, absolutely free. Use Demon Slayer within the first 48 hours of a brand new account. Okay, so let's get started with some of the things that I want to talk about here today, and that is going to be, well, actually, there's going to be some news, I believe. No, where was it? Not here. Sorry, I have to pull it up online. I do have it here. If I can get rid of the ads, there we go. So we have the update highlights of 11.0. Now, this is obviously going to be based on the Grim Forest. Let's zoom in a touch. Can we do this? How far can we go in? Oh, without screwing up the... There, maybe here. Might be better here on the right-hand side. So this is all going to be about Grim Forest, right? I believe around this time, someone can correct me, but I'm basically coming up on 1 year in Raid Shadow Legends come January, and Chimera was the big release, I think, last year, right? So for this year, we are going to be getting the Grim Forest game mode, which is going to dominate update 11, which should be coming this week. I don't know if it specifically says this week, but a lot of people are saying it's going to be tomorrow, Thursday. Basically, the updates are going to be coming very soon. Now, I've talked about in a previous video about the Grim Forest. It is going to be made available to players level 55 and above, but it's designed for people with wider rosters, right? So it's going to be basically as challenging as Cursed City when you first get it unlocked as a player. So it's designed with various complex mechanics. We've talked about some of these. Your champions will brave the so-called Gloomlands, a cursed wilderness filled with peril of, there's going to be some fog of war. There's 2 different difficulties. We've talked about that with the amount of characters that you need. 7 unique bosses. Like the Doom Tower of the Cursed City, Grim Forest will work on a monthly rotation. Once the time is up, all progress gets wiped and your big journey begins anew. However, unlike those 2 modes, the Grim Forest map will not stay the same. Each rotation will bring about changes as stages shift and adjust their position. Furthermore, the maps on normal and normal and hard difficulty will differ as well. So that's interesting to know. I was wondering, like, what is that going to look like? And one thing that I kind of wanted, there was a web page that Plarium had for the Grim Forest, and I kind of want to just bring that back actually, really quick here. It has expanded a little bit, right? And this is what I'm wondering, like, when they make a new monthly rotation, is this all going to just shift around? Like, is the map entirely different? That's what I'm wondering. Now we have, I haven't looked at this in a little while. Now we have the old camp. Before, I saw the old camp and Black Shroud. And now we have like the Mangle branch up here with some other things up here, which is really cool. And then we also have the Ash Fields down here in the bottom right. We have another boss down here, the Goblin boss or whatever, troll or whatever he is. The Cursed Mangroves, the Bay of Thorns down here. I think that's supposed to be the final boss, right? I think that's the final boss. And then the Great Barrage up on the top left. Like, it's a pretty neat map. And my question is also, it says up here that it's going to be something that's going to be unveiled in 1 day. So I guess I'm just wondering whether or not all these different areas are going to be shifted around. How is the map going to actually change? That's what I'm curious about. Now, the team decks we talked about, on normal mode, it is 2 different decks of 10 champions, so 20 in total. And then on hard mode, it's 20 each for a total of 40. So it is a lot of different characters. You can pick the same champions for your squad on both difficulties, but once they're locked in, the deck cannot be changed without a special item obtained during the gameplay. When you enter a Grim Forest battle, the game will choose a set number of champions from both decks, and you'll only be able to build a team from that selection. Now, what I've been told is that you should at that point be able to then change your gear for that particular node that you're running. So that's good to know that I don't need like 20 different, I don't need to have all of my characters equipped with their final gear set is is based before I get started is what I was wondering. The exact number of champions depends on the game mode difficulty and how hard the stage in question is. You'll have 2 daily redraw tokens that allows you to reshuffle the champion selection. This number can be increased to 4 if you locate dedicated altars on the map. That is pretty nice. Your champions always begin their journey in the old camp, so that was here, right? The old camp, I guess, down here on the map. However, as mentioned earlier, the paths and stages around them will differ from one rotation to the next. Most of the map is concealed by an unnatural fog that only retreats when you clear a stage, and even then it only reveals the immediate vicinity. But then you do see locations of other stages on the map, even if their contents remain unknown until you approach. Okay, so you have to spend distorted energy. A Grimforce resource is required to take various actions on the map. You'll receive 30 energy each day, shared across both difficulties, and there are no refills. Keep in mind that leftover distorted energy does not carry over to the next day, so you use it or lose it. So this is basically like your Cursed City keys, right? So you want to make sure that you do this every single day, or at least as much as possible for your account. The stages scattered across the map can be separated into several types. Empty stages might be exactly as they appear, but will still consume distorted energies to clear, or they might hide an enemy ambush. At other times, they'll contain rewards like chests or grim charms. The later are essential. Gathering 15 grim charms over the Gloomlands will unlock a treasure hunt chest that yields some of the best loot in the game mode. All right. Other stages will involve a battle of some kind, waves of enemies, boss tier champion, or a mythical foe. I think the boss tier champion is what we saw on the map here, with like Queen of Hearts basically over here and some of the other characters. Apparently, this is I didn't recognize this, but this one's actually an actual character in the game. Maybe in the Barbarians faction, I think legendary there. Other stages. Oh yeah, you have to gather three crowns to unlock the final Grim Forest boss. So, I mean, I'm looking. There's a lot of stuff here, honestly, but I am very excited for this. There's some information about the Grim Forest altars can be found on the Grim Forest map, and when activated, provides various boons to your squad. These reset every Grim Forest rotation. The Curio altar unlocks an extra Curio slot, which I guess are more bonuses. Redraw altar. So we talked about that. So you could do that for, I guess, when you're up against a stage and you don't have a good selection of characters. The Aid altar, only one such exists on the map. Consecrate it, and you'll always draw an additional champion to choose from when entering a stage. That's interesting. So you'll be able to fight the battle with 6 characters, or you have 6, an option of 6 of a possible 5. I'm wondering, wow, okay, interesting. The curios are unique. These are like boons, I think, like basically mods to make your characters better. Additional stat boosts. Curios will buff your champions, and then there are curios that debuff the enemies. You have 1 curio slot available by default, and I guess it was the Grim Altar, right? The Curio Altar that adds an extra slot, 5 in total. Okay, wow, that's interesting. Cool. This is a lot of stuff. Like I'm really excited for. Maybe it sounds fake, but like I actually am, especially because the other game that I'm playing right now on my other channel is just in a complete dead zone. Now I'm gonna skip through some of the bosses there. I'm not gonna go through all of the boss kits and stuff like that. You can also earn Grim coins and Grim gold by completing quests in this game mode, completing battles, and looting Grim chests. All right, it's cool. There's just a lot of stuff going on here. I'm kind of one of those people who kind of need to see something and play it in order to get an idea. Now there's a lot all the kits to the bosses. That's like not sure if that's something that I want to kind of tackle right now, just because I'm more of like I need to play it, and I'll probably like as when Grim Force comes out, I'll definitely do like my day one, kind of like my experiences through that. Squad profile and curios. Various mechanics to help you survive. Firstly, each victory and open chest rewards you with XP that increases your squad progress level. In turn, each new level unlocks a selection of trait cards, boons that increase your champion's stats. Although these only apply to Grim Forest battles, the stat boost will help you deal with the many formidable enemies that lurk in the mist. Talked about curios as more boons as well. Grim Forest rewards, purchasing chests from the vendor and unlocking treasure hunt chests on top of the usual goodies. You can expect gemstones, basalt, soul stones, and more. This is also the second game mode where you can obtain cursed remnants. We did see that on the map actually, over here down on this stage. You can see that, so that's really nice. More stuff is always good. That's more summons. My first 2 remnant summons were not very good, but hey, more opportunities to pick that up. Blood Briars, which is a new relic crafting group, and the Mercurial Gear. Now, this is really good. It's like protection, but with a different bonus. But I do want to talk about what they posted with relation to the Mercurial gear here, and their explanation of it. I want to kind of read that out a little bit. As you already know, artifacts of power lie scattered throughout blah 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 Mercurial gear. So basically, what they say is kind of why you should have this. Bosses ignore the total guard buff. Therefore, the PvE will remain challenging even with the set, outside of helping players who struggle with waves. Total guard buff will prevent debuff placement and most other effects regardless of hit condition on the skill. Also, if the skill itself does not have a hit as part of the skill, it will not remove total guard buff stacks. Any hit will remove a stack of total guard. So every hit of the multi-hit skill, damage from the ally protection buff, or even a hit of 0 damage will remove a stack. However, hits from masteries, blessings, relics, and HP burn will not trigger this. The 9-piece set bonus will return 1 stack of total guard every turn. So basically, if you're fighting characters that have one attack, like a single hit, is going to be absorbed by the total guard. So it's pretty good, but it's probably more PvP oriented. While the Mercurial set is mostly PvP oriented. Oh, sorry, my head's in the way, actually. While the Mercurial set is mostly PvP oriented, it should also make wave content and features like Cursed City a bit easier and help players overcome some of the bottlenecks that they may encounter in other game modes. So that's just the dev clarification on this set. So what else do I have here? I think that was mostly it. Also, further down on this, they do talk about the rebalances and the updates. Also, a really big thing, they're adding 400 slots to the artifact and accessory storage, which is amazing. So we're going up from 1,600 to 2,000. I think it's just delaying the inevitable on my liquidation of my gear, but there you go. And then when this is probably going to be better for the new faction when this comes out in the new year. With the holiday season upon us, it's time to decorate the bastions. Champion filters added to team setup windows. And some reworks to Sir Nicholas and to Glacia Soul Guide. Now, I don't know what character is going to be available on the Winter Titan event. Apparently, last year, people did have Sir Nicholas available, so a lot of people think it's not going to happen again. Basically, some improvements to him. So if you do have Sir Nick, then there you go. And if you do have Lady Noelle as well, there's some great combos with it. And also, he has a brand new passive, which kind of cancels out the enemy's ignore defense effect used against allies under shield buffs, decreased by 30%. And then if it's Noelle, under 60%, so more protection for her. This is probably more PvP oriented though, because I don't know if enemies really have ignore defense effects, because that's gear related. Glycia Soul Guide. Now, I don't have this character as well, but maybe this might be available on the Titan event coming up. I don't know. But basically, I believe she just focuses on freeze debuffs, though. She does steal all debuffs on her A1, and then all buffs on her A2. She has some more freezing stuff, and then she fills turn meter for all allies, and additional if they have freeze that this actually applies freeze. So I guess everything's a little bit better, right? So that's always nice to see. Some reworks. Usually every update there's at least like 2 characters that are being updated, so that's pretty cool too. I think that's about it, but we should be getting this update very, very soon, before the end of the week, and I'm really excited to sink my teeth into Grim Forest. I'm super excited yet again, and I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are in the comments down below. I probably will have some videos, especially in the first couple of days, playing through my daily Grim Forest and just sharing with you guys my experience, whether or not we have different experiences, and those kinds of things. Now, before I go, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started a new account or an alt account, download using the QR code in the top right to get the recently reworked Narma the Return of the Knights of Revenant faction, and also 3 amazing epics. You get Allure at level 10, Tagore at 20, and Ruella at level 30. And don't forget to use the promo code Demon Slayer within the first 48 hours of a brand new account to get Tholen Foulbeard, the amazing legendary dwarf DPS. That's it for now, everyone, and I will see you guys all on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.